Hey y'all, welcome. It's Crissy O here, CrissyOShow.com website and Crissy O's Clucky Chronicles. So I just want to say, hey y'all, it's me. I'm here with your wonderful Crissy O Clucky Chronicles YouTube stuff. Today, we're going to welcome everybody back to the coop again. And if my voice sounds a little weird, it's because I'm kind of sick. So we're going to have to do it this way. So enjoy this podcast. I don't want to make my flock sick, so I'm doing my own little thing. Been to the doctor, all that happy stuff. Got my medicine. I'm just waiting to recover. That's all. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about the clucking history of chicken keeping. Okay, and I'm so happy that we're all clucking together. Okay, so today we're going to embark on time travel adventure, and we're going to explore the rich, ridiculous, and remarkable history of chicken keeping, from wild jungle fowl to your backyard buddies. Right, these birds, they've shaped our lives for thousands of years. You know what I'm talking about. So we're going to grab an egg, your favorite chicken, coffee, snack, sweet tea. Just settle on in and let's cluck through history together. Be sure you're hitting the like button, the subscribe button if you ain't already. And drop your funniest chicken stories in the comments. I love to read them. I love to respond to them. Let's get it on, y'all. Let's cluck and start this thing.
Yeah.
First off, I want to talk about ancient origins. Okay, you do your own research. I do mine. You do yours. You do you, boo. I do me, boo. No shame in this game. We're just going to kick it off a little bit. Anciently. Is that a word? Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to kick it off in the jungles of Southeast Asia. Around 6,000 BCE, BC, whatever. Anyway, long time ago, our chicken ancestors were the red jungle fowl. Now, I've already done a podcast show on this long time ago, so if you've missed it, go check it out. It's there. Now, these fancy wild birds strutting their stuff with colorful feathers. Oh my, jungle fowl chickens. Now, archaeologists has found bones in Thailand and India, just showing early farmers how they tamed them, probably for eggs and a bit of maybe some cockfighting flair, you know what I mean? So those roosters were the original tough guys. You might think you got a tough rooster, but let me tell you, these jungle fowls, I don't know. They might have been a little tougher. Who's to say? Anyway, so moving on, by 1400 BC, ancient Egyptians were painting chickens in tombs. So these hieroglyphs are like chicken selfies from the past. Okay? Think of it that way. So they kept them in basic coops made of like mud and reeds. Probably laughing when the roosters crowed at dawn to wake the pharaohs. You know what I mean? So in China, as we move forward, around 1000 BC, the Shi Jing Book of Odes mentions chickens for food. Also, they mention it for fortune telling and even a religious offering of sorts. So just imagine a rooster predicting your rice harvest. You know, what if that rooster didn't like you? I don't know, you could have some problems, you know what I mean? So the early keepers of chickens, they basically fed them grains and scraps, and hey, I bet they didn't have to deal with the Wi-Fi messing up in their roost or any social media drama back then. I digress. So what do y'all think? Would you have kept a jungle fowl as a pet back then, or for food, or for eggs? Just let me know what you think in the chat. While we're doing that, let's move on, because this history of chicken keeping, y'all, it's just warming up. Now we're going to fast forward to some medieval madness. So we're going to fast forward to medieval Europe around the 1200s. So chickens were the homestead superstars even back then. Now everyone from pheasants and chickens and whatever they were keeping at the time, which could have been various things. You know, they had a bunch of farm animals and stuff. But you've got peasants all the way to nobles kept some type of animals. We're talking about chickens here. But they did keep them. And they did keep them with like cookbooks, because those are still around and you can read information about it. Like Les Viandiers, just raving about egg custards, omelets, roasts, just different things back then to impress the king. Now, monasteries, they kind of got a little bit fancier. They built coops with straw nests, and they actually hired chicken monks to tend the flocks. So, I mean, you want to talk about a holy hen house? There you go. But here's the funny part to me. So some folks believed roosters crowing at midnight warded off evil spirits or witches. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they believed way back then in medieval times. Now, they built coops like near the house, sometimes with little windows for the birds to peek out. Kind of adorable, right? Now, back then, the feed was simple. They did barley, oats, kitchen leftovers, breadcrumbs, but eventually they learned to add calcium from crushed shells or oyster bits to keep the eggs strong and the hens happy. It's just something that you learn over time. So, I mean, have you ever heard a midnight crow from one of your roosters, or just seen like a strange, quirky coop? So just let me know. It's kind of interesting that we can all talk about it. And I'm talking about medieval times. This is kind of strange. Because this era right here, it really just shows how chickens were slowly starting to become part of the family and, heck, maybe even the neighborhood watch. Moving forward to the Colonial Chicken Craze era. I mean, let's jump on to the 1600s, colonial America. They brought chickens across the Atlantic. Of course they did. Now, Pilgrims, they packed hens on the Mayflower, landing around 1620 with about 20 birds or so, whatever. You know, they brought them, okay? Now, talk about a Clucky crew surviving stormy seas. I don't think I'd have been as lucky. But anyway, they built coops from like logs, mud, and facing cold winters and hungry foxes with some settlers writing in journals about losing half their flock to wildlife. Oh my gosh. But they did this. Now, by the 1700s, southern plantations like those in North Carolina, hello, where I'm at, all right, boosted chicken keeping. Now, they used them for eggs, meat. They even traded them with neighbors. And if you think about it, even today we do the same thing. Eggs, meat, trade with neighbors, help other people, sell them, whatever. Now, George Washington himself kept over 200 chickens at Mount Vernon, with records showing that he fed them corn, clover, and even like apple pomace. Kind of pretty posh for a president if you think about it. I've been to Mount Vernon, and we've heard the stories, and we've done the tour, and we've seen the things. It's pretty cool even back then, because we don't really think about stuff back then, but they did it, and it happened. And eventually, coops got sturdier with more raised floors to like avoid dampness, and folks back then just started breeding for egg production, like, you know, your early leghorn breeds, which lay up to around 200 eggs a year, give or take an egg or two. So just imagine George Washington chasing a runaway rooster across Mount Vernon. I just think that's a funny sight. It's just interesting that this period basically started laying the groundwork for modern flocks like yours and mine. Just makes things more hardy and full of personality, I think. Now, talking about the Industrial Revolution up till today. Now, by the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution basically changed the chicken game. So in 1870, incubators started hitting the scene. So imagine this. Imagine a steam-powered egg warmer run by coal. Yep, it was a thing. So this boosted chicken numbers, with the U.S. producing millions by 1900. And it was turning small farms into egg factories. Coops grew into barns with electric lights to trick the hens into laying more, and the feed got a little more scientific. So you got corn, soy, vitamins to max out production. And in the 20th century, it brought breeds like Rhode Island Reds, which they're perfect for egg factories, but backyard keeping started booming again in the 2000s as folks like us, we just craved fresh. We craved local eggs. Things was getting a little bit expensive, that kind of thing. So over 1% of U.S. households, they now keep chickens. Today, the FAO says over 1.2 trillion eggs are produced yearly. That, to me, just sounds crazy, right? Now, my flock's part of that legacy. Your flock's part of that legacy. Your neighbors, your friends, all of our flocks are part of that legacy. Raised coops, straw bedding, different types of bedding, mixed grains, and treats. We just keep our babies just happy and clucking away.
Yeah.
So, I got a question for you. With all this knowledge and all this information, what is your favorite chicken breed to keep? Just let me know. I'm having a hard time narrowing it down for me because I do have so many different types of chicken breeds. But I don't know. I have a hard time because I have so many favorites. It's hard for me to narrow down to one. So maybe you guys can let me know what your favorite chicken breed is. Either way, history's just alive, and every cluck and every scratch is shaped how we care for our flock today.
Whoa.
Now I'm going to tie in a few little things here. I'm going to talk a little bit about chicken keeping because since we've talked about it, and we've traveled through time, I kind of want to bring it home with a little quick tip from history. So the colonial farmers, they used raised coops to avoid dampness. Well, it was a smart move. I do the same. We add straw if we need it for warmth, different types of bedding, different types of things. You know, if you're adding straw, you're kind of doing it just like the monks did. We check our coop weekly for cleanliness. We ensure it's got good ventilation, just like the Egyptians learned. And we also offer calcium-rich treats, crushed shells, either feeding them back their egg shells or oyster shells or greens. Now, this all boosts their egg strength. That's from medieval times. Now, my flock loves it. And it keeps their history alive in my homestead. So I like looking at the history of chicken keeping as a combination of everything throughout the centuries, throughout the hundreds of thousands of years of somebody owning, starting from the jungle fowl up until now, as like we're all doing it. We're all doing it. We're just making it a little better and a little easier as we go with our backyard flocks, farms, homesteads, whatever you want to call it. Now, folks, well, that's the clucking history of chicken keeping. It's just from the jungle fowl to your backyard. Now, these birds, they've fed us, they've entertained us, guarded us from spirits, and sailed with the Pilgrims. I think it's pretty amazing. So I want to thank y'all for hanging out. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because when we hit 1,500 subscriber goal thing that we're working on here, if you're signed up for the monthly email list at CrissyOShow.com on our website, I'll send those who are subscribed to the YouTube channel and signed up for the monthly email the free egg recipe ebook as a thank you. Free, okay? So I think it's like 50-something, 60-something pages. So, that's a good prize, right? For a lot of people, for everybody. Now, don't forget, we're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shorts daily. We're all over social media, TikTok, Facebook. We got a group there if you want to join us. So many things. Just we're keeping the chicken spirit and the flock spirit alive. So I'm glad you guys could join us. I'm going to go take me some more cough syrup, and I'm going to rest, and I'm going to peek out my back door and look at all my fluffy babies out there free ranging today. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget, y'all, if you can't be good at it.